Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and our show today is Talking Heads. If you're joining us for the first time, Talking Heads is a phenomenal platform where world-class leaders and presenters come and share their expertise and their knowledge with us in a 30-minute show. Joining me today is one of our team members here at USA Global TV. She is a talking head and an elevated listener. Let's welcome Keegan Daly to the show. Hi, Jean.
Hello, Dr. Jacqueline. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Nice to see you again. I'm looking forward to your lesson. I'm going to go backstage and turn it all over to you.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy that you're here. I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that you're viewing or listening. And today is a day that I'm going to talk about discovering, a little bit different than finding your genuine life purpose. So what does that actually mean, your genuine life purpose? Well, to me, it means more than your job, more than your relationships with your family, your significant other, your friends, your coworkers. You have a relationship with yourself. We all do. I do, you do, everyone does. And a lot of people don't realize how important that relationship with self really is. If you can remember from last 2 weeks that I was presenting, you will know that I truly believe in, and there is scientific proof and evidence, that we are holistic beings. We are spiritual beings, meaning energy beings, having a physical experience. And we are connected with mind, body, spirit, emotion, our environment, our relationships. We are all connected in this energetic way. So, why do we even think that we should be here? Well, that depends on a lot of things, which I will go into at a later time because there's so much to get into this 30 minutes that I'm with you. However, what I want to concentrate on today to help you to know is that there are many, many parts of you that are aware of just why you're here. And one of the ways to get in touch with those parts of you is to know that you are an energy being. And there is access to that part of you. The access to that part of you is through your thoughts, yes, yet quiet time where you have the inspiration coming from that spiritual part of you to tell you more about yourself. So when I was 5 years old, I knew I wanted to be a nurse. And yet there are a lot of people who don't know what they really want to do in their life. What is their purpose in life, even into their older age? They just kind of go along with doing what they learned to do or were told to do or thought they should do. And so we'll start there with what is it that your purpose is in this life on a physical level. So for me, it was easy because I just knew, and I have written a book entitled Reflections of a Seasoned Soul, which is shown here. This book, I don't know if you can see it, is available on Amazon, and my full name, Keegan Daly, is there on the book. Not to be confused with many other Jean Dalys that are there. Anyway, so the fact that I knew at 5 years old, and the story of how I knew that is in my book, made it easy for me because I just knew what I needed to do in life to fulfill something that I believed I came here to do on a physical level. However, that physical level of knowing that I wanted to be a nurse really expanded my awareness of my mind, my emotions, and my spirit, as well as my relationships with my patients, with my family, with everyone, with friends that I've met along the way. And if you feel that you knew at a young age what you wanted to do in this physical life, that's wonderful. But what if you didn't know? What if you were told, as I know some doctors that I've met were actually told and expected by their family to become a doctor because perhaps their father or their mother was a doctor, or perhaps they knew that being a doctor would make their parents proud, or perhaps they had a slight intention to become a doctor, but when they got into it, they might not really have felt that this is their path. And yet, they spent all that money, did all that training, have helped people, and they really felt inside like they weren't being as fulfilled as they hoped and wished they would be. So, one of the things that the people that have come to me in that situation, whether it's being in a job or being in a relationship, that feel that it's not quite their path, it's not quite their purpose in this lifetime, what do they do about that? Well, the first thing that I want people to be aware of, which I became aware of myself, is knowing yourself and what makes you feel alive. What makes you tick? So I knew that helping people from the time I was a little girl was what made me feel good, made me feel alive, it made me feel helpful, it made me feel as though this is what I came to do. And for someone else, they may not really know what helps them to feel alive. So when I was in private practice, I still am, but not full time anymore, I would ask my clients to think of things. And I offer this to you to think of something that you have enjoyed in your life. Let's say when you were a child, you liked playing with Legos, or you liked playing with building blocks, or you liked helping your dad in the garage build things, make things, or you liked helping your mom take care of the baby, or you liked helping going out into nature and cleaning up things or taking care of animals. So when you think about that as you were a child or a teenager, I suggest that you allow yourself to close your eyes, put your body in that form that you feel. So, for example, those I know some of you are listening and not seeing me, so I'll explain it. Um, so, when I think about helping people, especially as a nurse, even as a child, oh, my arms went up and I felt really alive and I felt very supported in the fact that I knew I had that inner spirit to help others. And it made me feel happy. So I knew that I had to go through a lot of training and I did not know how difficult it would be at times. However, that spiritual invigoration never left me. So, as I moved through nursing, and as you may have moved through your life doing something that you felt okay about, but not really fulfilled, not really alive, um, I realized that there were other things that I wanted to do. I wanted to teach, I wanted to counsel, I wanted to help people in more ways than just being caring for them in a hospital or in a facility of some kind or in their homes. So I suggest to you that now we're still on the physical level, that if you are in a job, for example, where you feel okay, you're making some money, you have some security in your job, you feel like you're contributing to your family's welfare, you're bringing home a paycheck, that's fine. So if you're not really feeling alive and happy and loving what you're doing, then you need to spend some time alone thinking about what you have done in the past or what you've seen other people do that make you feel excited, make you feel alive. So your emotion becomes very strong when you think about things that help you to feel that way. And then once you start feeling how your body is responding to those thoughts and those feelings become more strong every time you think about this, something that you've always wanted to do, perhaps if you didn't think you could, or you didn't think that you were um, able because of expectations on you, or there wasn't an opportunity for you, or it wouldn't make the money for you that you needed. Take a breath, smile to yourself, and think, I am so much more than I am seeing now. I became a dream builder, certified dream builder life coach, which is really transformational. And I will this year be starting my private practice in that. One of the things that I learned is that loving what you do is really important because it fulfills every part of you. So when I am presenting, when I am teaching young people, when I'm working at school as a substitute nurse, when I am working with energy healing with clients, when I am just being out in nature, when I am dancing, when I'm singing, I feel alive and happy. So that's one part of you where if you are somewhere now where you don't feel all of those things, get in touch with yourself through meditation or through quiet reflection. Think about things, look around you, talk to other people, watch your children, watch any child, where they are just fulfilled with what they're doing in the moment. And then it starts to spread out. It spreads out that happiness feeling, that the feeling of aliveness, that feeling of energy, that feeling of contribution to yourself becomes much more strong. And ideas will start to come to you. Where do they come from? They come from your spiritual self, your soul, the part of you that animates you through life, the creative part of you that breathes you. Some people call that part God or spirit or creative one or the universe. It doesn't matter what you call it. We all have that at our source. That is our core. So think about, for example, I talked with someone recently who was okay in her profession. She said that she kind of fell into it, and it was in healthcare, and she kind of fell into it, but it wasn't really her passion. And we had some time to talk together without interruption. So I listened to what it was that she, and helped guide her into figuring out what it was that she really liked in life. And it turns out she liked planting flowers, vegetables. She had gone on to think more thoroughly about that and said, if it was up to her, she would really love to start a garden nursery. But she didn't have the money. She put all kinds of blocks in her way about not being able to do that. So I said to her, well, what if you could? What if you could? And she said, oh, I would just love that. I would just love that. So her healthcare experience would actually help her because instead of caring for a person, She's caring for another form of energy, aliveness, which is a plant or a vegetable or flowers. So even though that might sound to some that that's very simplistic, that is how exponential energy grows. That when we really allow ourselves to be in that state of dreaming and daydreaming, wishing, going to the past and looking at things we used to love to do, or looking at other people and say, "Oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that." There is always a way. You might not know it in your consciousness at this time, yet when you continue to bring that energy forward in your mind, in your heart, every thought, then that energy just builds and it builds and it builds. And it suddenly you start seeing opportunities that come to you that otherwise you would not have known about. And that's magic. It's true, yet it seems magical that that can happen. It's happened to me many, many times, and it's happened to many people that I know. So the idea of trusting in yourself, trusting in that part of you that knows exactly what your purpose here is. We are really meant to be happy. We are meant to feel alive. We are meant to experience. We are meant to enjoy. We truly are. And there are many, many times when I have been with a patient who feels so forlorn and so unconvinced that they could ever be happy again because they're in pain or they have a disease that they're dealing with. And yet, one of the stories in my book, actually, all the three stories in my book that I have of when I was a hospice nurse taking care of people, those were my very most memorable clients, patients, because my experience with them was transformative for them and for me. Even though they were dying, we found a way together to help them to live their last time on earth doing something that they loved and enjoyed doing. And it started with them knowing that they had this part of them, this spiritual soul part of them, this energy part of them that was very creative. And the stories are just magnificent. So I encourage you to really seriously think about spending a few minutes, could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, taking some slow, deep breaths like we talked about in the first session that I did, and we'll be talking about again in the last 6 weeks of my programming of all the ways to relax and get in touch with yourself that are very practical, easy, and anyone can do them. For right now, though, knowing that if you are fulfilled in areas of your life, that's wonderful. You have been listening to that inner voice. If you're not fulfilled in some areas of your life, instead of going to the thoughts that are, I would say, disempowering, I'd rather use that term than negative because really energy is not negative. It either is flowing or it's stuck. So if you are unhappy, then your energy is stuck someplace. And there's always ways to move it. As we'll learn as we go through these 12 weeks, I will be teaching you ways to move that energy that are practical. And so let's say that you are wanting so much to go out and dance. You have a dance partner. So you can always turn on music that you enjoy or that you have enjoyed in the past, or just create your own music by singing and dance around the house. Because that may bring you the joy inside. Your mind body doesn't care where you would be dancing or singing, or how you would be dancing and singing. Your mind body cares about how it feels. And your emotions then are supporting the rest of you, supporting your mind when you feel excited, when you feel happy, when you feel like, wow, I like doing this. This makes me feel alive. This makes me feel excited. This makes me feel creative. Then that passes through into your mind and it passes through into your body, and doors open for you. Honestly, they do. Now, we have right now situations in our world where there is a lot of chaos. And there are many people that are feeling depressed or down, or they don't have a direction. They've left perhaps their job and they don't know where else to go, and they are stuck. And I would suggest to them to do the same things. Remember, and that word remember, if you take it apart, it's which means again, like relax, remember. So remembering, meaning putting the members of your being together again. Your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions. And what you might think are miracles can be everyday occurrences. When you open yourself up to knowing that your true purpose on earth is to love, to share, to be happy, even if you are in a place where you look around you and you'd rather be someplace else. You can always go to that someplace else for a few minutes. And the whole idea is to experience that energy. So when you hear yourself thinking or hear yourself saying, ugh, this is drudgery. I can't wait till Friday, for example, with your job. Take a breath, close your eyes, and think about not only what you would do on Friday or Saturday or Sunday when you're not at your job that you don't really feel completely fulfilled by, but think about right now what can make you happy. Perhaps making you happy right then and there is to hum a tune. Helps the job go faster or easier. Or right then and there you can get up and walk around. Maybe you can walk outside the door and just breathe in the air, because your ultimate purpose in your life is to take care of yourself, to take care of the full being that you are, and then spread that love and that care and that kindness and that authenticity and that respect to everyone around you. And the energy changes around you. The energy changes to a more positive, flowing, unstuck, creative energy. Discovering your true purpose is so much more about what you do with your time. Discovering your purpose in life is knowing that we are all connected and we are each responsible to find ways to grow, to create, to experience, to expand. And the ways we do that is to really know ourselves. There was something, an acronym that I mentioned last week called CARE. So, CARE, for me, the C to me represents compassion. We're often compassionate for others, be compassionate with yourself. And the A is for authenticity. Who are you really? Are you really, really being your truth? And if you cannot be your truth in a certain situation, be your truth when you can, at home or out in nature. Always with kindness, always with respect, which comes to the R of care. Respectfulness, respect for yourself. knowing that you have choice. We talked a little bit about that last week. Choice. You have the choice to really respect that which you are, who you are. And all of those things together, all the things that I've mentioned so far, create an empowerment, which is the E on care. So to feel empowered, to know that you are a beautiful, worthy, valuable being. You are a spiritual being, a truth being, having a physical reality right now. But that's not all who you are. So remember, if I think of something, let's say for me, learning technology, I know I need to do that. So if I'm true and honest with myself, I'm like, oh. However, I can find people that can help me who understand it better than I do at this point. Dr. Jacqueline being one. And then I can feel like, wow, yes, this can give me energy. I can unblock myself. And then I can move that energy that's stuck into feeling, yay! We we know that life is terminal in the sense that we have no idea how much time we have. So make the most of your time. And I always include myself in saying this to you. Make the most of the time that you have by knowing who you are, trusting that the answers are inside of you on that spiritual, intuitive level. Pray as gratitude. So instead of saying, oh, please let me know this, you can say, thank you. I know it's there inside of me. Thank you for helping me to become aware of my gifts. What are your talents? What do you do well? Go toward that. Doesn't matter if it's a hobby or if it becomes, your business. You're moving that energy. You're doing what you're here to do. And most of all, you're loving what you do. And the money flows more easily. And even though that might be hard to believe right now, I have seen that happen in my own life. There are many more ways to picture yourself doing what you want to do. Like one would be, like cutting out pictures and pasting them up on a wall, which I used to do, making lists of what you want to do. Some people call that a bucket list. It doesn't have to be a bucket list. Get it out of the bucket. Do it. Do something every day that makes you feel alive. Because your true, genuine life purpose is to live, be and live your life in a happy, energetic, creative way. There's always something to be grateful for. Always. Even if it's just the hot water, or I don't want to say just, but even if it is the hot water in your shower, even if it's the fact that you can eat today, that you give to others from your wellspring of happiness and creativity and connection with yourself. Always remember, this is just a little short paragraph from Henry David Thoreau. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. So I was taught to stop the common hour thinking, meaning I have to do this. and think, I'm choosing to do this. It's necessary. I may not love it, but there are other things that I can love. And I'm going to expand my energy and create ways to love that. I used to love to hang clothes up outside. I don't have that opportunity right now because I live in a community where you can't have outside clotheslines. However, to just go outside and to notice nature instead of putting your headphones on and walking with music, listen to the birds. Spring is coming where I live anyway, in about another month, I hope. So we know that there's opportunity everywhere. And please do take this into consideration, a promise that you can make yourself. I will do what I can with what I have now, knowing that I always have way more than I'm aware of. And that's inside yourself. We'll continue this next week. And also, I'm going to talk next week about the impact of your conscious and your unconscious mind in creativity, in your life purpose. So, part two coming up. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for seeing this broadcast. And thank you to Dr. Jacqueline. Bye.
Thank you very much, Jean. Nice job. Well done. And for people who are listening on the radio and unable to see this banner, you can reach Jean at her email address, which is jlifespirit@comcast.net. Jean will be here each week at the same time, which is 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Jean, thank you once again for another fantastic lesson.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Be well.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, whether you're watching on the live or the replay. We really appreciate you and respect you. And thank you so much for your support. For people like Jean, who are just bringing us wonderful information. My one takeaway I really love so much, I have a whole list of things here, but I wrote, make the most of the time that you have by knowing who you are. Discovering what you're about, what gives you passion and purpose. I did that in my own life, left my corporate career, went out on my own, and here I am with all you lovely people now. So you can make it happen. You just have to take that first step. And as Jean said, the money will come. All right. Thank you again for being here. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I see you over there watching. Just click subscribe, USA Global TV. And we are coming right back with our next Talking Head presentation. So do stay with us wherever it is you're watching. I'm the only one who has to move. And thank you again to Jean.